My name is Rhea Toles. I am the owner of BioClean Inc. with my husband, Josh Toles. We have 3 sons. I'm a mother, first of all, who are all in their 20s. And I am a grandmother to a 2-year-old little girl. And I'm a business owner. I love what I do. I work really hard at what I do. And I just think it's the funnest thing. I mean, I work with my husband too, which is also fun, but we definitely work well together. I am a family. I love my family. I'm very family oriented. I spend as much time as I can with my family. I love to read a lot and puzzle. I'm a puzzle fanatic, and I like to eat. So those are pretty much it. I'm pretty simple. So
that's awesome.
How was that?
I love it. That was great. People who are watching might be wondering, why do you have a microphone in your face?
I don't know.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I love to talk to people. I love to network. I just really like to get the word out on what we do to the community. I think it's really, really important what we do. And we wanted to kind of stress that factor out when we bought the company and try to get this education piece out. It's not just cleaning up biohazardous waste. It was really about why we do it, the dangers of what we do, and just really get that education out to the community. So that's why I wanted to do a podcast and kind of talk about our work, but also put in people in the community that, you know, has different areas of what they do, different industries of people, and kind of tie that in of what we do too, and talk about the community, how they help the community, and just talk about life and things that are happening all around us. So that's just kind of what my mission is and why I have this in front of me.
Yeah, awesome. When you're thinking about who you're going to be talking to in this podcast, who are some of the people that might be interested in this kind of content?
I want industry leaders. I want to interview powerhouses, you know. I want people that shake things up. I want to talk to those people. Community leaders, especially what they're doing for our communities around Washington, is really important to me. I want to talk up to moms, how they're dealing with business, you know, starting their business or continuing their business and juggling with their kids. I want to talk to men, you know, how they're dealing with what they're going through too. I mean, all kinds. I just feel like there's no boundary for that, but I do want somebody that is so like passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like even in your career with BioClean and even your career before that, you've been talking to just a lot of people who run government programs and who run nonprofits. Tell me a little bit about some of the people you've been interacting with. I've
been interacting with so many kinds of people, like you said, in different areas, in different counties, in different cities, and in the urban areas and not the urban areas. And so I have met mayors, governors, senators, and everyone I feel like has been so interesting to me because they all have a different mission, but it's all the same coming together as a community and as an organization, why people are there. I honestly feel like there are people that are trying to meet. We're trying to meet each other, network, and build our business. But there's so many people out there too that want to help others, and so it's been really interesting to me and the different ways people want to do that. And so I've just been really like trying to just absorb everyone I can meet in because I'm a part of so many organizations now, and I just am absorbing all these people and trying to get to know them and the differences that they make, and not just to me or, you know, but to the community. And so I love to hear and talk about different things like that. But I've met so many different people. I mean, the nonprofit sector is so interesting to me. I love to work with nonprofits too. Like I said, I met the commissioner of Island County, who's now got elected to be a senator, and she's just so amazing. So that's been really fun.
Maybe we'll get her on the podcast.
Yeah,
cool.
I'd love to have her on the podcast.
Awesome. Why don't you plug the name of the show, name of the podcast show?
Yeah. we decided to name it BioClean Unfiltered. And I loved that name because I want it to be unfiltered. I want us to talk about everything, lay it out on the table. What I find a lot of the times when I'm out networking or talking to different people, there's so many things, the elephant in the room, like we had said before, things that are thrown under the rug as far as drugs, as far as mental health. And so I wanted to talk and have this podcast to have an open table of whatever, like I said, it could be a mom that is struggling and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about, someone has a family member that was on drugs and how they coped with it, those kind of topics.
Yeah. There's a lot of darkness in that side of just drug use and addiction.
Yeah, but there's a stigma where people feel like they have to keep quiet about it. And I think in a lot of the sectors when it comes to government and politics too, it's a money issue. And so I see different sides of everything. And so I just feel like we as a society need to talk more about the mental health issues that are ongoing, that then drugs stem from that, and different things. Suicide. I mean, the rise in suicide is the highest it's ever been. So it's just time to really be open and talk about those things. And I think people are either embarrassed about it or they just have been taught to ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And darkness can exist when you shine light into it. And so I think that'll be really cool.
It'll be really cool because I feel like through experience, people learn from that, and can take something from that when people talk about it, like they're not alone. Oh, I could do that, or, get resources. So the only way that can happen is if we really do talk about it. And that's why I'm really interested in talking about to different people in different industries and to tie that in, because it can happen to anyone.
Yeah. Why should someone listen to this why should someone subscribe to this podcast?
I think if someone wants to have a really fun podcast to listen to, I feel like this is going to be a fun one, but also a serious one. But I want to I'm going to bring some of our jobs into this one, maybe with some pictures and videos too, and really getting a look at what we do as a company, because it's real. So I think people are really into that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting. I can't say fun. It'll be interesting. And then I definitely just want to, I think it'll be fun to hear from different people and how things just tie into that, to what they do too. Kind of seeing, for instance, if I have someone here and I show them a suicide, get their take on what does that mean to them? What if they came across that in their business? What would they do? What would be helpful, to give a resource to someone? How do we do that? Stuff like that. Yeah. Just really unfiltered talk about it, which is might be uncomfortable. So I think people will want to subscribe if they want to see all that uncomfortable and
and I feel like it's always going to be different. I don't think there's going to be the same episode twice.
There's never going to be a same episode twice, and I'm really going to ask questions that are going to be not hard to answer, but just whoa, okay, I have to answer that one and talk about it, but I want to get to know people too and talk to what they do as their business and how they help like I said, the community.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I imagine we'll probably post some of this conversation on your personal Instagram account. But if someone wants to follow along for full episodes or other clips, where are we going to be posting them?
On BioClean's Instagram, BioClean_Y, I think it is. And then we have a BioClean Facebook, and we have our YouTube. We're going to put the content on YouTube too.
Yeah, we'll do full episodes on YouTube, and then we'll also we'll put it up on Spotify.
Yes.
I think we can do iHeartRadio too.
Yes.
So we'll get all
the
there.
Platforms, I hope. Yeah.
Awesome.
Right. So I'm really excited about it, and I hope people subscribe and listening to my voice.
I'm sure they will.
I won't say or all the time.
Oh, it'll be fine. We'll do an counter and just see trends of how it goes up and down.
Quarter in the jar every time.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Why don't you talk about some of your hesitations to start a podcast? Because I know we've talked a lot about that.
Oh, yeah.
And then talk about what you're excited for this to become.
Oh, yeah. I have been talking about doing this podcast since I've started full-time working at BioClean. Because so many people have come to me and said, you should do a podcast, or you should post on YouTube. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fun, and until I really got into what it takes to do all that. And so I'm hesitant because of the commitment. I was hesitant because of being a business owner is not easy. You wear so many hats and you're so busy all the time with everything. So I just didn't really want to commit. And that was my hesitation. But now that I met you and I really saw how important I feel like this is and what it could be, I really, really sat down and thought about it and was like, okay, I need to do this because I just think it's going to be helpful and I think it's going to be something entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of your like big dreams, like dream guests that you could have on the podcast or something like that?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I mean, I like to have someone big. I don't even know what that is. And that's what's funny is like, I don't really think big for this podcast. I just thought locally, my dream guests, like I have my list. And so I haven't really gotten to like the big picture things, but my goal is to have people, of course, listen, maybe more than 5 people, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then just go from there. Locally, I definitely want this to be an impact on the biohazard industry and on Washington in general of everything that we're going through. So that's kind of my goal and the limit I took it at because I just feel like there's just so much going on right now as it is that we need to have something like this to be entertained with, but also talk about the issues.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy our podcast. I can't wait for everyone to listen and tune in. If you have any questions or any comments, or if you want me to ask any questions to our guests, please feel free to message us. We'd love to hear from you, and I hope you enjoy it.